It was never going to be easy for Pope Francis. A trip to a country that the US and the UN accuse of ethnic cleansing, meeting Myanmar's leaders after more than 625,000 Muslim Rohingya fled the latest military crackdown. Rights groups say Myanmar soldiers killed many civilians and gang-raped women as they swept through Rohingya villages following attacks by a Rohingya rebel group in late August. The Pope was advised not to even use the word Rohingya in Myanmar for fear of a backlash against Christians there.
The future of Myanmar must be peace, a peace based on respect for the dignity and rights of each member of society, respect for each ethnic group and its identity.
The avoidance by the Pope of using the name of the ethnic group that these people come from during the Myanmar leg of his Asia visit cast a dark shadow as he arrived here in Bangladesh. And it wasn't until meeting some of the people from these camps that specifically travelled to Dhaka to talk to him and him hearing some of their horrific stories that he finally said the word Rohingya. As in Myanmar, the Pope held mass in Bangladesh. He met Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and praised the government's generosity in helping the Rohingya refugees. His trip has drawn international attention to the plight of the Rohingya, but many fear it may not make much difference on the ground. A plan by Bangladesh and Myanmar is being sketched out to repatriate hundreds of thousands of refugees, with plans to house the Rohingya in temporary camps close to their homes, so many of which were destroyed or burned to the ground by the military and Buddhist mobs. The repatriation will be reportedly voluntary, but only after identification of each refugee has been verified by the Myanmar authorities. The Myanmar government doesn't even recognise the Rohingya as an ethnic group. It withdrew their citizenship in 1982. Many Rohingya refugees have never even had a Myanmar ID. The plan has been called a farce by aid agencies and rights groups. They ask, how can a deeply traumatised people return when their basic rights have shown no sign of improving in the country they fled from? Bodhi Alim and his family of 4 escaped from Myanmar a month ago. He says the military shot his 20-year-old son dead after detaining him. This is the second time Bodhi has sought shelter in Bangladesh. The first time was following a similar military crackdown in the 1990s.
There's been too much killing. They burned our home. We want justice first, then we may decide on going back. But under these circumstances, we don't want to return because we'll face the same sort of killing.
It is doubtful whether the Pope's trip to Myanmar and Bangladesh will have any impact on Myanmar's government that refuses to even mention the Rohingya by name. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Kutupalong refugee camp, Bangladesh.